Volume 10 starts off with a bang, and boy, let me tell you, for all the strength and intimidation that Gaara has, Lee has a trick or two up his sleeve as well. Ha!
Naruto number 82, Lee's a secret.
Do they make a Lee action figure? Because if they do, I want one, boy. Woo! Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, and I'm here to bring you another review on the awesome, action-packed, Lee-filled tale of, you guessed it, Naruto. Now, we're diving headlong into volume number 10 over here, in the double digits now, and certainly excited about that. The last chapter of the last volume left us off with Lee matching up against Gaara of the Sand, and really just feeling as if the shit is about to hit the fan, hoping that they saved the best for almost last, and just really just dying with anticipation and excitement. So, anyway, so that's how things left off, and that's right where things pick up over here, is the beginning of this battle, and I feel like it's gonna be a slobber knocker. It really just, I mean, the artwork on the cover is just beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely love it. You know, you got Lee, you've got Guy on there, you've got Naruto in the background. Just very cool stuff. And anyway, it gets right into it. Okay, it gets right into it, and we got Lee facing off against Gaara, and Lee goes and looks at Gaara, and he's like, "Don't make this too fast." You know, like basically, let's slow this shit down and get a good fight in here, right? So, you know, okay, you know, round 9 of the preliminaries, fight! And these two go at it, and it's like, I don't even know how to explain it at first, because Lee is just coming at him with he starts out with the hurricane move, the Kona hurricane. It comes at him with it. Gaara goes and opens up his gourd of sand, man, and that shit just goes and just like completely negates what's happening. It just goes and knocks him back, right? And Lee comes at him again, and boom, you know. And we know that Gaara, you know, he obviously this sand, it works involuntarily. It works like it's just tied to like his will, his essence, his soul, I guess. He doesn't have to think about it. The shit just protects him, right? And even his brother winds up going and talking to, God, I forget his name right now. But anyway, you know, sitting there and he's talking to Naruto, and he's like, and he explains the whole deal with the gourd and the sand and everything like that, and he says, and that's the whole reason that Gaara's never been hit. He's never been touched. This dude's never been punched, right? Okay, at least, I don't know, maybe when he was a kid, you know, maybe his mom or dad slapped him around. I don't know about all that, but from what he's saying, it was a Kankuro that says that. I think that was his name. Anyway, or maybe that's 10... I could be wrong. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get all these names in here and everything. But nonetheless, though, the point being is that we know that Gaara is pretty much untouchable, right? So Lee's jumping around, Lee's bouncing around, Lee is attacking, and even gets to a point now where you know, where Master Guy's sitting there watching this whole thing, and we get you know, Sakura. You know, she says, why isn't he using, you know, he needs to back off and get some distance between them, and needs to use some ninjutsu techniques, right? And he goes, well, it isn't that he doesn't want to use ninjutsu techniques, it's that he can't. And she's like, what? And he goes, you don't understand. The only thing he was good at, he wasn't good at anything when I first met him, but the only thing that he took to, or that he became good at, or worked with, or whatever, was a natural talent for, was taijutsu, right? Not genjutsu, not ninjutsu. So basically, he can't do those. He just can't. That's not in his moveset, right? But the nice thing about that is that many times when you become a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. And what that means is that you're fairly decent. You're maybe average, maybe above average, passable at just about everything, but you don't really specialize in any one thing. And that's kind of how a lot of, I would say, how a lot of these, you know, these perspective chunin are. Many of them can use a number of different types of techniques, but many of them aren't very good at just one specific set, you know? And that was the cool thing that I like that Guy was saying. He's like, you don't understand. He's next level. He's off the charts. He's a game changer when it comes to taijutsu, but that's it. That's all. Taijutsu, that's all he's got, right? So anyway, so Lee winds up going, and as he's kind of dancing around, he's going to dodge one of Gaara's attacks, and he goes and jumps up on top of the stone hands or whatever, you know, and that are doing the cool little sign or whatever. And he jumps up on there to avoid an attack, and Guy says, Lee, Go ahead and take them off. And Lee's like, what? But Master, you said I could never do that and this and that unless I was, you know, unless it was in defense of a loved one or this and that, you know, like in defense of a loved one or country, land, and title, you know. And he's like, no, it's okay, go ahead. And he kind of smiles. He goes, just go ahead and take them off. So Lee goes and starts unstrapping shit, and we find out that his little wristbands and his little leg guard, they're fucking weights, right? I don't know how heavy they are, but they're weights. And I can tell you from somebody that's been in Taekwondo before, there was this thing on Friday nights my father and I used to attend called black belt class, right? You didn't have to be a black belt to do it, but it basically it was hardcore. Like, you'd start with a 5-mile run, okay? And the 5-mile run you would do with ankle weights on. Then after you got back, they'd give you about 30 seconds to recuperate, grab a sip of water, and then we would do jump kick after jump kick after jump kick. Now, it's hard enough to go and jump and get your ass off the ground a foot, 2 feet, whatever, and then snap a kick out there. But it is 10 times harder when you've just ran 5 miles and you have an extra 10 pounds strapped around your ankles, right? And these were only 5 pounds on each ankle weight. And I was in my prime. You know, I was a teenager in high school. You know, metabolism burned super, super quick. Didn't matter what I ate. Always had a lot of energy, a lot of strength. And I struggled. And then what they would do, this is the whole mentality of it, right? It was excellent. Then you go and you take the weights off after a few minutes, and then they give you a few seconds rest and have you go back into more jump kicks. And I felt like fucking Michael Jordan, man. I could just jump 4 feet in the air, it seemed like, as opposed to the 2.5, whatever it was. My vertical jump probably gained 6 inches to a foot on it, or at least it felt like it, because now the weight was off me. So anyway, to get back to the fight though, right? So Lee goes, drops the weights. And then guy goes and explains, and he goes, so you don't understand. Like I was telling you, Lee is, he's not to be trifled with. This is a dude you don't fuck with, right? So Lee, once he drops the weights, man, Lee becomes like the Flash, right? Lee becomes like Nightcrawler, like from the X-Men. Lee is just, he is a blur, right? Lee goes running across the ceiling, it looks like. You just see little trails, and all of a sudden appears, boom, right? He doesn't hit Gaara, but Gaara's little magical sand wall that was keeping him 5-10 feet at bay before is now right next to his face, right? So then over the next few pages, it's a series of all these different kicks and punches coming at, and Gaara actually looked like he might starting to be sweating it, like, whoa, hold on a second, you know, that was close, right? And then the chapter winds up ending off, right? Well, close to ending off, second to last page, with Lee appearing and coming with a downward spin. BAM! Just nails Gaara, right? And, you know, and everybody's like, and everybody's freaking, right? Everybody's dropping their shit. And then they get to the next page over here, and you look at Gaara, and Gaara, of the sand who's never been touched, Gaara done got his face cut. Gaara, oh boy, it ain't looking too good for you, son. I don't care whether Lee wins or loses. For me, I love these moments where there's this character that's touted to be unstoppable, unhittable, this battle's unwinnable, and then the underdog or the whoever winds up coming and having some tricks up his sleeve, and then winds up, BAM! Cutting his face open. So, I just love it though, man. At the end, we just get it, and he's like, in terms of speed, Lee can't be surpassed. I thought I gave you all fair warning that this boy is really strong. That's all coming from Master Guy, right? And then you just see this lovely, lovely thing. And then you get, well, here we go. And that's after you go and you see the nice panel at the end of it with Gaara and with Lee. This is some shit right here, though, boy. Woo! Alright, so that gets to my chapter question as that wraps everything up. And I like to get everybody involved. I really do. You know, there's nothing that makes me smile more. The reason that I do this is because of the interactions and being able to share something that I enjoy in my journey with others. So I love it when people comment. I love it when people send me messages. Very good stuff all around, but sometimes I feel like I can get in a rut, and I feel like the chapter question thing might be getting a little boring, right? So sometimes, maybe all the time, who knows, I'm going to start throwing some things at you, and we're going to do a would you rather. That's going to be the thing that we're going to do, would you rather. So my question for this chapter is, would you rather, if you had to face one of them, would you rather face Gaara or Lee? Now, again, and this is all personal preference, if you had hypothetical battle, right, in the world of Naruto, would you rather have to face off against Gaara or Lee? Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation. Without all of you, none of this would be possible. Thanks for watching.